Okay. All right, welcome everyone as we learn the Mishnah Yomis for Sunday evening, continuing our foray to Masechtas Yevamos, and we are dedicated Lili Nishmas Avram Yeshaya ben Shmayo Yosef, Refu Shalema for Yevamos ben Chayesar, L'schus Avram ben Yom Benish ben Malki Yudis and family, by Yisrael Fisher, Lili Nishmas Basia Bas Rabbi Shalema ben Avram Alevi, Peril Bas Ruvain, by Yol Klugman and family for their Parnasa Berevacha V'Chavod, for my Enikla Yelad ben Chava, for Avigdoraya ben Rivka and Meir ben Chayesara. They should all have a Refu Shalema B'Seg Shar Cheli Yisrael. So Mishnah Bey says an unusual Ketzad. This is not going back on Mishnah Aleph. The Rav says over here, Ketzad lava pluktekoi. It's not going on back on the Machloikis between the Tanakama and the Rabbanan of the first Mishnah. Elamil Saban Peinafsha. It's a independent Mishnah. Vayoven Echad v'Yevama Achaskai. Where Reuven was married to Sarah, Reuven died, and Sarah is one Yevama, falls to Shimon, one Yavam. And how does that play out with a get, with a maimer, with chalitza, with bia? So Ketzad, also maimer biyavimtai. If Shimon makes a maimer on Sarah, and then Manasseh get, and then he gave a get, so that's easy. The get erases the maimer, and now all he needs is to give chalitza in order to remove the zika. He can't give bia anymore, because once he gives a get, it makes bia not possible. So tzricha men a chalitza. Also maimer v'chalitza. If he gives maimer, which is kedusha yavamim, and then chalitza, well, now he has to just, the zika was taken care of, now he just has to erase the maimer, so tzricha men a get. Also maimer ubal, if he did kedusha yavamim with Sarah, and then did bia, yibam, finally, you got it right. Arizuka mitzvah. That's the proper mitzvah. Now, we're going to say some other configurations as we start Mishnah Gimel. Nosan get, if he gave a get, which impairs the zika, so bia is not possible anymore. V'asa maimer, and then he made a maimer. So now, he's going to need two things. Tzricha get, he needs get to remove the maimer, and chalitza to remove the zika. Nosan get ubal. Now the problem here is, it's a sticky problem. Midaraisa, the bia, is a good bia, and she's his wife. But midrabanan, once a get is given, it impairs the zika, and the bia doesn't, therefore, midrabanan, remove the zika. So here, he needs to give another get and chalitza. Tzricha get v'chalitza. Nosan get v'cholatz. If he gave a get and then did chalitza, well, nothing is necessary, because the chalitza removes the zika, ein acher chalitza klum, and you don't need to do anything after the chalitza. Now, chalatz, if he gave chalitza, thereby removing the zika, v'asa maimer, and then gave a maimer, or nosan get, or gave a get, or ubal. Now, here we'll stop and say, ein acher chalitza klum. Once he did the chalitza, the bia doesn't make him her husband, because the chalitza removes the zika, and now the bia is an isser, because kevin shaloi bana shuv ein abayna. So that bia is just a bia of an aveira. It doesn't need a get. If he makes a maimer is kedusha yavamim, but after the chalitza, there's no zika anymore. So he doesn't have to do anything, and of course he doesn't have to do anything after a get. Oi! Baal, if he did bia. Now bia makes her his wife. V'asa maimer, then he does a maimer. The maimer is meaningless, because she's already his wife because of the bia. The bia makes him, it's yibam. Nosan get, if he gives a get. Now that get is something, because it just dissolves the wife, but it doesn't mean anything in regard to the zika. The zika was already removed. The chalatz, if you gave chalitza, that is also meaningless, because the zika was already removed through the bia. Ein acher chalitza klum, and as the Gemara adds, an ein acher bia klum. Now, although it's not true that after bia there's nothing, because after Bia, if a get is given, the get dissolves the marriage, as the Melech Shlomo says clearly. But it means that it doesn't have anything to do with the Zika anymore, because the Bia removes the Zika, because the Bia is the Yibam. But if he gives a get, of course the get dissolves the marriage. Okay, Rabbi said that's a little complicated. Now, achas yavama, achas liyavam echad. This is true, like we explained, where it's just Sarah and Shimon. But achas shtei yavamas liyavam echad. And it's also true where there's two wives and one yavam, meaning that it would be Sarah and Dinah falling to Shimon, which we're going to speak about in the next Mishnah. Again, I want to remind you that if you live in Fairways tomorrow, Marav is at 7:45 as we start our new second minyan to help people that go to work. Also want to remind you that we are actively looking for a sponsor for Parshas Toldoi, 718-916-3100, rmmwsi@aol.com. You could also sponsor the next chok, which will be the first chok of Parshas Yisro, and that's at a bargain rate of $100. 718-916-3100, rmmwsi@aol.com. Thank you for joining